Okay, today I want to talk to everyone about this summer. How should we take care of ourselves? Because of time, I will divide it into part one and part two. Today, I will only have time to cover part one. There is simply too much content. All right, the most important thing to take care of in summer is called capillaries. Actually, capillaries are, for many people, before learning Qigong or before watching the Amazing Palm Trembling technique, you never really cared about capillaries or microcirculation. This is also why Master Bai Yin, among so many techniques, selected palm trembling, this movement. Okay, so if you can, listen to Master while doing palm trembling. Right now, because of the camera angle, you may only see one hand, this hand trembling. That's all right. If you want to know how to do palm trembling, it's very simple. Go to YouTube and search for Amazing Palm Trembling technique. Master Yin Quan has a video with more than 13 million views, a teaching video with millions of views called 7-Day Palm Trembling. You might as well follow it and give it a try. Many of my students first encountered it through 7-Day Palm Trembling. Their first introduction was through 7-Day Palm Trembling. Then they committed themselves to practicing for 7 days. Without a second thought, find that video and follow it for 7 days. After 7 days, you'll know what I'm talking about. You'll know what capillaries are. You'll know what microcirculation is. Let's talk about capillaries and microcirculation. Capillaries are not like the aorta, which is given so much attention, but you should know that poor blood circulation will first show up in our capillaries. So, if you want to protect your blood vessels, summer is the best time to protect your blood vessels, because during summer, our metabolism becomes more active, and the warmer weather increases your level of physical activity. If you can increase it just a little at this time, you will begin to sweat slightly. Then after sweating, you will naturally want to drink water. All of these are very good opportunities for us to protect our capillaries. So, during the summer, if you practice palm trembling or practice Qigong, I think protecting your blood vessels is the most important. The Amazing Palm Trembling technique is Master Bai Yin's exclusive technique. You won't find it in any Qi Gong or any exercise anywhere in the world. However, through more than 30 years of Qigong teaching and research, I believe the Amazing Palm Trembling technique, this simple palm trembling movement, is extremely, extremely important, especially for protecting and caring for the blood vessels of modern people. It is crucial, so remember to watch the Amazing Palm Trembling technique or 7-Day Palm Trembling. Okay, now, our blood vessels. If there's a problem with our blood vessels or our capillaries, it will eventually affect our larger blood vessels. Whether arteries or veins, the signs will all show up in the blood vessels. So how do we know if our blood vessels have potential problems? Master has summarized them. The third is to look at the tongue coating. I wonder whether, when you brush your teeth, you have the habit of looking at your tongue coating first thing in the morning. Since I was young, because I studied Qigong and traditional Chinese medicine, I have always paid great attention to the tongue coating. Because every morning, before you brush your teeth, stick out your tongue and look at it in the mirror. Most of your body's indicators can clearly tell you what is going on. You shouldn't suddenly be surprised, wondering why you have developed a disease. That is because you lack this knowledge and you also lack this habit. So before brushing your teeth and rinsing your mouth in the morning, first look at your tongue coating. If your tongue is red, meaning there is almost no tongue coating at all, or on the other hand, your tongue coating is very thick, with a thick white layer on top. Neither of these is good. One is a sign that the body is affected by cold. The other is a sign of deficient heat within the body, so pay special attention to your tongue coating. Another thing is to pay attention to underneath your tongue. Simply curl your tongue upward. After curling it upward, there will be a blood vessel there. There is a very obvious blood vessel in the middle. Take a close look at the color of that blood vessel. When you get up in the morning, before drinking any water, before brushing your teeth, take a look. It is very accurate. If that blood vessel looks a little like a varicose vein, slightly bulging, and is obviously purplish red, you should pay very close attention. Many people, before having a stroke, already have the blood vessels under the tongue turn dark purple or even appear swollen. So pay special attention to it. It is very difficult to prevent disease. So it is a habit that should be developed every day. When you learn Qigong from Master Bai Yin and often listen to my lectures little by little, you will absorb something. You don't need to absorb too much each time. Perhaps I speak for 1.5 or 2 hours and you only understand one sentence, but understanding one sentence can save a life. So keep following Master. Master will gradually share with you all kinds of health preservation methods. Besides Qigong, many everyday habits are very important. All right, the fourth is to look at the veins. Look at our feet. If the blood vessels on the top of your feet are very prominent, you should pay special attention. If you have varicose veins in your calves during the summer, you may already have varicose veins. They tend to become more severe in summer or winter. Many people feel their varicose veins are especially severe during the winter, while some people feel they are especially severe during the summer. If you are someone who feels that your varicose veins become especially severe during the summer, or if you notice that when you hold out your hand, you can't see my hand is here. When you hold out your hand, this area on both sides, around the thenar eminence or on the outer side here, has obvious purple spots with purple speckles like little dots. And within the purple areas, there are white spots. You should pay special attention. These are all potential cardiovascular problems. All right, so check yourself using these 4 methods. Always pay attention to your own safety, right? Nothing is more important than life. Nothing is more important than health. Today, you came here and are willing to listen to Master because you value your life, right? Because you hope to find a good method to become healthier. So, in the summer, Master gives you these methods so that you will know, especially in summer, they become much more obvious. They may not be as obvious in other seasons, but in summer, these symptoms or signs will become very obvious, letting you know that you have cardiovascular problems. Summer is actually the best time to take care of the heart. If you're interested, you can take a look at the Yellow Emperor's Classic. In the treatise on regulating the spirit in accordance with the 4 seasons, it specifically mentions the 3 months of spring. How should you take care of yourself? Let me read a little. The 3 months of spring. This is the season of growth and renewal. Heaven and earth together give life and all things flourish. What should you do? Retire late and rise early without begrudging the daylight. In the future, if you are a Bai Yin Qigong student and today you introduced a friend to attend this Qigong class, and in the future your friend also learns Qigong, both you and your friend will receive a wonderful gift called virtuous technique. In virtuous technique, I will explain in detail the treatise on regulating the spirit in accordance with the 4 seasons from the Yellow Emperor's Classic. How to take care of yourself in spring, how to take care of yourself in summer, and how to take care of yourself in autumn and winter. You will discover the wisdom of our ancestors, the wisdom of health preservation in traditional Chinese medicine. Even after more than 2,000 years, it is still relevant today. As long as you follow it, basically, you will have an opportunity to turn things around. In other words, if my cardiovascular chi have more cardiovascular problems. If I was born with these problems, I definitely should not miss the opportunity to properly regulate and take care of myself during the summer to reverse and turn around these cardiovascular problems. So pay special attention to taking care of your heart during the summer. Recently, taking care of the heart, why does Master mention it so often? Because after the COVID-19 pandemic, the COVID-19 virus has had a very serious impact on the cells and blood vessels in 3 areas. The first is the brain, the second is the lungs, and the third is the heart. Many people have begun to notice from research, and I believe more reports will gradually be published. Master has already written it here. For example, the European Heart Journal pointed out that COVID-19 infection can lead to cardiac arrhythmia, heart failure, or impaired blood vessel function. It increases the risk of acute myocardial infarction or ischemic stroke. Gradually, you will continue to see various reports being published. So, if you can practice Qigong well during the summer, during this period, you still need to have methods after learning about this frightening information. If you only feel that it's so frightening, I don't know whether because I was infected or whether I will have any post-vaccine effects. If you are only worrying and feeling afraid without any method, it is of no use at all. It does not help. So you must have a method. I believe everyone should have a Qigong practice by their side to accompany yourself so you can practice anytime. After practicing, you will immediately feel more comfortable. And we can deal with many minor problems, for example, catching a cold. If you feel a cold coming on, quickly practice. If you have a headache, quickly practice. If you have bloating, quickly practice. If you feel you haven't been sleeping well recently, quickly practice. It can immediately relieve the symptoms. Never let a minor illness become a serious one. All right, finally, Master will talk about taking care of the heart through daily living habits and diet. What should we pay special attention to? Of course, you cannot do everything perfectly because we are not sages, and many people are busy. Many people come to learn Qigong. The first thing they tell Master is, I'm just too busy. If I weren't so busy, I would have come a long time ago. Being busy is indeed a very good excuse. It is simply an excuse for not wanting to invest in your health. That's what I think. Because when you really become ill, you will realize all that busyness was in vain. What is the use of being busy? It is of no use at all. Without health, what can you gain no matter how busy you are? When we become ill, when we are groaning in pain, when we are putting a packet of medicine into our mouths, when you have to queue up to see the doctor, when you are waiting for the doctor to tell you what to do next. What was the meaning of all that busyness before? So, if it were me, I would definitely put health first. After taking good care of my health, I have the foundation to keep myself busy. Then I can stay busy without any worries. I think that is the smart way to do it. All right, let's look at what we should do in our daily routine. The best thing to do in summer is to get up early. If you sleep in during the summer, you will miss the best opportunity for nourishment. After getting up early, the next thing is to get some sunshine. There are many ways to get sunshine. One way is to sunbathe outdoors. But that does not help your cardiovascular system, so don't think that going outside to get some sunshine will help my cardiovascular system. You need to get up in the morning and do some gentle exercise under the sun. Methods of exercising that regulate the cardiovascular system, such as practicing Qigong, are what truly help take care of your cardiovascular system. So listen carefully. Simply going out to get some sunshine will not take care of your cardiovascular system. All right? One thing to pay special attention to is if you already have potential cardiovascular problems, or if your parents have congenital or hereditary problems, it is recommended not to practice Qigong between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m., including not doing any exercise. Try not to do any exercise between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m., not even climbing stairs. At that time, don't do it. Just take the elevator. So any exercise between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. during the hot summer months is recommended to be avoided. All right. Another point is to drink water before practicing Qigong. During the summer, it is not advisable to practice Qigong without drinking water, especially when your mouth and throat are already dry. After practicing, you will feel thirsty. Drinking water then will not be of much help. You must drink water before practicing Qigong. All right. Speaking of that, I'm thirsty too. I'll have a drink of water. Are your ears getting tired from listening? Because every time I do a live broadcast in the evening, I always want to finish quickly so you can get some rest. I'm afraid I'll be too long-winded and take up too much of your time. So while you're listening, you may think Master Bai Yin speaks very quickly. Actually, my concern is simply that I want you to get to bed earlier. So I keep talking quickly because there really is quite a lot to talk about. Honestly, after becoming a Qigong teacher, I really have this feeling of being a mother. I always feel that my students are like my own children. If they were my own children, I would be long-winded too. When you know something, you just want to tell them because you're afraid that they don't know and will take unnecessary detours. That's how I feel about my own students. I feel that summer is coming, so I want to quickly tell my students what they should do. Next, avoid vigorous exercise. Personally, I think that nowadays people spend too much time in air-conditioned rooms. It's no longer the same as in the past. In terms of the body's ability to regulate sweating, the body's ability to open and close the sweat pores has deteriorated in everyone. So, when we engage in vigorous exercise, we sweat profusely. Then it's easy to feel tired, to feel exhausted, and to feel that your electrolytes are out of balance. So, I don't recommend vigorous exercise during the summer. Practice Qigong well during the summer. You don't need to practice too much. Don't overdo it. Just practice for 20 to 30 minutes. A light sweat is enough. Also, in summer, anger easily arises. Excessive anger in summer easily injures the heart chi. So in summer, make big matters small and small matters disappear. Practice Qigong, take a step back, and you'll find a world of possibilities. Many of our students tell Master that they used to have a fiery temper. After practicing Qigong, whenever they feel they are about to explode, they quickly go and practice Qigong. After practicing, they feel that it wasn't such a big problem after all. Why? Because the qi has become smooth. Qi needs an outlet, and qi needs a way back. It needs a way back, otherwise it will rush upward and directly turn into a bad temper and explosive anger. But if we directly regulate this qi and make it flow smoothly, it becomes your energy. It is all qi, all qi. But if you don't properly give it a way back and guide it downward, it will eventually become your temper. Master just mentioned that you should sweat, but you should never sweat excessively. In summer, be sure to drink a glass of water before practicing Qigong. I won't say too much about diet because besides our sound healing therapy and Pigu cleansing course, where diet is emphasized, Master usually tells you what not to eat, what you should eat less of rather than what you should eat. But at the student's request, I'll still mention a few things. Of course, eat less raw food, but there is one thing to note in summer. During summer, I eat a little more bitter food. It is very helpful for heart chi. For example, bitter melon or the green lotus plumule. But remember, when soaking it in water, use only a little. About 1 or 2 pieces will already be very bitter, so don't use too much. Also eat more foods that reduce internal heat, such as mung beans, soy milk, pears, celery, bamboo shoots, and lettuce stem. I especially like eating lettuce stem in summer. Just remember, first, don't eat too much on an empty stomach. Second, pay attention to your stomach and don't let it become too cold. But it is actually quite suitable to eat during the summer. Also, eat more red-colored foods. Eating these foods will help nourish and replenish our heart chi. This is a very important dietary concept in traditional Chinese medicine. Of course, Western medicine does not have this concept. But after all, we have a considerable reliance on traditional Chinese medicine. So, Master recommends that it is better to believe it exists than to believe it doesn't. Eating more red-colored foods will also help nourish your heart chi.